Hello and welcome once again to another edition of IFN News. Welcome back to IFN News, and of course we're here now on the final day of coverage of the case at the Old Bailey, Regina V Fellows. Now the jury's still out. They've been out all morning, they've been out all afternoon. Family and friends who have been there for the last 9 days, they're worried, they're nervous, but they're very optimistic as well. They're really hoping that this is going to be over and done with and that Ben Fellows will indeed walk free. And the verdict's in. It's a majority and it's quite simple. On both accounts, Ben Fellows has been cleared of perverting the course of justice, and it's simple. The man is free to go. Lou Collins, this has been a fantastic outcome for the case, and you've been looking at this from day one. You were the big part of it.
Prior to this, I've known Ben since before the Olympic scandal hit, and I've supported Ben all the way. As you say, we've known about it all the time, and we've come up from Devon, and there was never any doubt. But the tension in that gallery just now was just so intimidating. The tears went, and there's never any doubt. So justice has been served. There are some good jurors, and maybe not all courts are so corrupt.
That's right. Well, it's been very, very transparent.
Very.
The background. You've known him a long time.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, probably, I don't know, 25 years, something like that.
And does it surprise you, the verdict?
No, it's the right verdict. They've really put him through the ringer, and he shouldn't have gone through this. He's been persecuted for over 2 years before I even really got involved. And then when they threw him in jail, and he was there for 18 days, and then he couldn't get bail, and he just didn't deserve to be in prison. He didn't deserve to be put through all this. He didn't deserve to be dragged down to the Old Bailey, and the right decision was made, and I'm just really, really pleased.
Well, there's a great atmosphere about this. It really does feel like justice has been done. I mean, the transparency of the case has been terrific, and I think it was pretty much all laid bare. I'm sure there's a few little more surprises to come out. You've been following it a long time too, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been following it since Ben went on a walk against corruption. And I saw stuff online, and I was very curious at what was going on. Didn't seem quite right. And so I went and met him and became friends, and I followed it ever since then. And this should never have come to court. Ben's completely innocent. I've known this right from the very beginning because I've questioned him in depth. Many people said all sorts of things about Ben Fellows, but I know for a fact that if you've gone and spoken to him, and everybody who has gone and spoken to him knows he's telling the truth. It always was telling the truth. And this is an absolute waste of public money, bringing this to court.
Ben! Come on in.
I'll just be reading a short statement. First and foremost, my love and thanks to my friends and family and supporters. Your support has kept me going through the ordeal of the last 2 years. Yeah. It is an intense and terrifying experience appearing at the Old Bailey, and I felt completely out of my depth, and I would never have been able to cope without the dedicated and hard-working legal team paid for by Legal Aid. Many thanks to Bernard Richmond QC, Claire Leslie and Michael Range for Panatar & Co. for making sure my voice was heard. As far as I'm concerned, the next few weeks and months are about rebuilding my life and moving on. I shall make no further comment, now or in the future, about Mr. Clarke or the events of 1994. I ask everyone to respect this decision and allow these matters to rest. Thank you very much.
This way, Ben. Ben, this way.
Come on, Ben, this way as well. Ben, thanks very much. IFN News has been watching after you throughout the weeks. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
It's a great cause for justice, and if people are worried about coming forward to justice, you've proven that they can do it in spite of all the odds. Thanks
very much.
Thank you. Welcome back to another IFN Extra. It's the final extra from the Regina V Fellows trial at the Old Bailey. It's all over and done with. Ben Fellows has walked free, but it certainly has opened up a lot of questions for the establishment. And I'm joined once again for the final day here by Deborah Williams from the Kent Freedom Movement. Deborah, you've been here pretty well throughout this case.
Yes.
First thoughts on this verdict are?
Well, I don't think I was that surprised. I did expect it to be not guilty. At first, I mean, when the prosecution was doing his deliberation, I thought, oh no, it's going against Ben, you know. But then after the defence, it swung. It could have been 50-50, but then as the time went on and all the people were so optimistic, all the family and friends, I just thought, no, I think it is going to be, you know, no guilty.
I agree. I mean, I think that was one of the finest defences that I've actually seen. What was amusing about this particular defence was that he drew on the QC Atkinson, who was prosecution, and he also used an anecdote about a television show, rather than insisting like the prosecutor did, which was, oh, maybe you watched Spitting Image, maybe you saw an image of Ken Clarke, and you heard the distinctive voice, and of course Ben Fellows said, well, no, not really, it's the sort of thing my father would have watched. So that was deadpan. Conversely, of course, when the QC for defence was summing up, he said, he loosened up the jury a bit, and he said, look, he said, you know, when someone says something to you and tries to push you to go down a particular route, he said, eventually they're badgering you, and then you go, oh, okay, I'll do it. And in this case, this was about Ben Fellows eventually saying, okay, I'll give a statement, a full statement. He just wanted him off his back. He was, as the counsel for defence put it, a pain in the bum. So Deborah, you were up in the public gallery when that verdict came through. Well, how was it?
It was very tense. We were all sitting there. I was sitting next to Ben's mum, and I could see she was very nervous, and I looked down at Ben and he looked very nervous. But when they said, when the, I can't remember the guy's name, but when they said it was not guilty, everyone was like, oh, you know, it was all jubilant, and, you know, his mum was in tears, and I think Ben was in tears actually at one point.
A terrific amount of stress for all family and friends, obviously for Ben and his mum, but the support system critically is what's been very helpful for him in this situation. So that does say a lot as to why people, you know, can move along now. And there was a statement out afterwards, and we're going to go and see that statement very shortly that Ben gave. It's a binding statement. We know he can't give any further interviews at the moment because it looks like there are further ongoing investigations as a result of this. Of course, we can't comment on either.
No, no, but it'll be interesting to watch and wait, see what happens with that.
Deborah, you know, this case now, as it's resulted, fantastic support systems there, but what are the further ramifications of this?
Of course, we was slightly worried, well, quite worried, about the ramifications for the truth movement, because if Ben lost his case and he was found guilty, then that opens the floodgates for other people to be found guilty, just like Ben, you know, for just speaking their mind and talking about establishment figures, or even people that have been abused by establishment figures. Would they be able to come forward anymore?
This is quite worrying, isn't it? So this was obviously a litmus test case, because otherwise this is going to become case law. Obviously this is a standard that's been set. You can make a claim, you may not be able to substantiate the claim on the basis that also they can't substantiate the defence, but by jury, which is the correct way to be tried, it shows that you can establish that. So that is quite a precedent, that. So I think it is fantastic for this for truth movements, for people that have wished to be truthful about things, and to bring this forward rather than to bring lies forward. So this has made a huge difference.
It is good news in that respect.
Well, I think that Ben Fellows, his supporters, his family will sleep well tonight. I think a lot of people who have got problems out there that wish to bring them forward, they will have comfort from this.
It'll give them confidence.
But I think perhaps, most of all, there are some people that won't be sleeping comfortably tonight. This has certainly opened up rather a large can of wriggling worms. Thanks for watching IFN. Thanks for watching the coverage of this case. From the team and myself, thanks for joining us today.